I used to be addicted to them, to these 4 girlfriends. I used to hate them. I was kind to them, but I used to really hate them, and I used to tell them lies, to cheat and use and abuse them for my pleasure, and also I had no hope to get married again. And the 4th girlfriend I had, I tried to make him. By the way, 10 of my ex-wives and girlfriends, including 2 Jewish girls, I made them Muslims, and I was a very strong-headed Muslim, and very narrow-minded, single-minded.
So what happened?
The 4th girlfriend I had, I tried to make her Muslim, and she came and she has seen my teacher, and she sat 2 minutes in the room, and after 2 minutes she went out. I looked at her, she was a bit upset, but my teacher was very kind to her, and he had hospitality, and he welcomed her. And she, on the way back to Manchester, I said, what do you think about my teacher? She said, Mostafa, I'm sorry, he is crazy, dirty old man.
This was a teacher to convert her to Islam, was it?
This was my spiritual teacher, which I took her to see and to become Muslim. She said, if this is Islam, I don't want it. Islam is demonic. Islam is no good for me. She said, I'm looking for a loving God like Jesus. I want to find this relationship between my heart and Jesus. I'm empty inside. I'm lost. And she said, I'm surprised you have been following this man for 8 years. And she said, I'm not going to apologize, and I'm not going to change my mind. This man is crazy, dirty old man. I was in a part of Islam for the last 8 years of my being Muslim, called Sufi, a spiritual Muslim, which is exactly copy of being born again Christian, but it's copy, is not the genuine one. It's counterfeit, and because my teacher used to prophesy, he used to, I used to speak in tongues. I was baptized 5 times in water. He knew things about my past which I never knew.
So you, as a Muslim, you were baptized in water and you spoke in tongues?
Yes, yes, yes. He gave us a word and he said, repeat this. He said, God will come and Spirit of God will come and show himself to you. When you have seen something, don't share with anybody, just come to me. And he said, I change your tongue, I'll give you another one, and you get closer to God, to Allah.
Right.
And he was addicted to opium, and he used to be a womanizer. Every woman came initiated there to that place. He used to ask them to go to bed in front of his wife. And I couldn't believe my eyes. Which sort of man of God is this? And he used to, he drank so much, he had a stomach ulcer, and he used to say,
but not all devout Muslims would be like that, would they?
No, but he wasn't devout Muslim. I was Sufi.
Right.
I was a spiritual Muslim.
Yes.
He said there is 2 different types of Muslim. One is fanatic Muslim, which they go to mosque. He said we are spiritual Muslim. We are Sufi. We are, which is a copy of Christianity. He used to prophesy. He used to say things about future which exactly would happen. Okay. And he knew things about my past which nobody knew about from me and God. He had some power.
I wouldn't like us to characterize and to put it out on TV that all Muslims act like that, because I think you'd agree they don't.
No, these are devout, very small sector of Muslims. They're called Sufi.
Okay.
Or spiritual Muslim.
All right. So there came a time when you had a confrontation with Jesus Christ.
The ex-girlfriend, she said, I want to find this loving God. She prayed, and one day she works in hospital, and she found a nurse, and nurse came, and on the break time, when you're having a cup of tea, she took a Bible out of her hand, and she said, you need to become born again. Do you know that you don't need a man, you don't need a building to go there and worship God? You can worship God anywhere you want, but you need to become born again. Shown her John 3:3, and religious is no good. Religious leader, you don't need to. Religious is man-made laws and rules to control you, to bind you up, but God wants you to be free and worship him in truth and in the spirit. So she come home that night because she worked all night, and after 2 hours she woke up and she got ready, she went to church, and when she came back she was totally inside out.
Really?
Yeah, she used to be a very sad lady. She couldn't smile for weeks. Now it's full of joy. Her eyes open. She used to smoke 40 cigarettes a day. She used to drink a bottle of wine every day, and she had a very bitter attitude towards her mother and father, ex-boyfriend, ex-husband, and slowly she become very gentle, she become very loving, she become very, very joyful person, and she became very, very happy, and I watched, my teacher said, look, your girlfriend has got a very good heart, and you will see that how this church leader, they take her and abuse her in the church. So I watched them because what he said. But I found out she changed from worse to the best. After a while, I found out she's not smoking anymore. She used to smoke 40 Benson and Hedges from age 11 up to 44. Right. I said, what happened? She said, 2 women prayed for me, and they said, God will take this desire of nicotine out of your heart. You don't need it anymore. Alcohol, the same thing. 4 miracles happened in 4 months.
Wow.
And I was shocked how
yes.
this Jesus does miracles, and I didn't know Jesus. I was actually enemy of Jesus.
Right. So did you cry out to him? Did you say, Lord, if you've revealed
all
yourself?
the time I watched her, and Christians used to come around and they prayed for me, and with their prayer they touched my heart, and as they were praying, and tears used to come out of my eyes, and I became joyful and peaceful. And I used to say, Jesus, if you can do miracle, do for me. I follow you all days of my life. And I used to say, look, from age 12, I used to talk to God 8 miles, because I used to walk 4 miles to my school and 4 miles come back. And I said, do you remember Jesus? I used to talk to you all the time, God, because I believe there is one God. And some of them, they call it Jesus, some of them, they call Allah, some of them, they call Jehovah. I said, there is one God. I was confused. I didn't know what
yes.
I was believing. I didn't know what to say. But I said, I kept my life clean. I never drank. I never took drugs, smoked. I don't like even telling lies. And I've been praying to you, reading the verses of Quran by memory from childhood. And you never talk to me. Now, for this girl, you have done 4 miracles in 4 months. If you do 1 miracle for me, I follow you all days of my life. Until the one night, Jesus came to my bedroom. And he called me by name.
Go on, you have to tell us a little bit more about that, Mostafa. You were asleep, were you? Lying asleep in your room?
I was asleep, but when Jesus came as a vision, you are not asleep. I was between the earth and the sky. And
so
Jesus,
in your sleep, you've pictured yourself being lifted up between the earth and the sky?
I was lifted up, and here you are, Jesus standing in front of me. And he talks to me. He looked just like Jesus of Nazareth. That's what I knew him.
Yes.
He had a white robe and shining face, blonde hair, and blind beard. And he said, Mostafa, follow me. I said, I don't need you. He said, why you don't need me? I said, I have motorbikes, I have dogs, horses, cars, BMW.
So you argued with him?
Yeah, I did. I was a very cheeky person.
Right.
And I tried to argue with God. He said, you and your father, you have been wealthy all your life, but we are both miserable. When he mentioned my father, I started to be frightened, because my father is quite a wealthy man, educated, very good person, but he is very miserable. He is very sad. He is very depressed, and he is worried what will happen to his money when he dies and how much he can take. And a few times I said to my dad, do you know, if you give me all your life, I don't want to be 2 hours like you. I want to be free and joyful and happy, not worrying for money. If money comes to me and I'm worried for it, I don't want it.
Yeah.
And so Jesus mentioned, he said, if you want material, Mostafa, I give you more than what you have, but I give you joy and peace and love and hope, which you don't have. So Jesus disappeared, and I woke up in the middle of the night. I was sweating, and I was just tired, and I didn't understand what happened. But this happened 3 times.